and we're going to start out with the main event. Corey Anderson and Karl Moore are ready to go, so we'll just ask a quick one of Corey. Talk to me, man. This is a new era, a big event for the Bellator promotion, and I guess talk to me about this opportunity and your excitement, how you're feeling ahead of this event, Corey.
Man, I'm just pretty focused right now. Everybody keep asking, are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you this? The main thing I can say is just focus, locked in. I've been on some of the biggest cards in the UFC, some of the biggest cards of Bellator. I've been around the block for a while. The excitement, you go, the highs and lows, they come and go. And then sometimes you can get in there and it can affect you. If you're so excited, you get in, you had that adrenaline dump. So one thing I've been focusing on is just staying locked in and focused. Don't worry about nothing else. Just well, everything else is going to happen, no matter what. The TV deals, the big promotions, the big media, all that's going to come. The only thing we can do is go out there and fight. So that's what we've been focusing on, locking in on, and making sure we go out there and do what I got to do. That's it.
I love it. Well said, Corey. Veteran hands here to headline this event. Karl, we'll ask you as well. I know this is a big one here for you, a big opportunity in Belfast as well. I mean, what's the emotion like for you to feel ahead of this big opportunity in your career?
Oh, mate, for me, this is a dream come true. I fought in Belfast as an amateur in my third fight. And after I won that fight, I jumped on top of the cage and celebrated. And like at that age, I imagined I dreamed of fighting in front of the Belfast crowd and winning a world title. But you think like, when is Bellator ever going to come to Belfast? When are they going to stick me as the main event for a world title? But it's happening. But it's happening in 9 days, bro. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna win that belt in front of my people in 9 days. And it's like, I understand the ramifications, but just like Corey said, it's another fight. Everything else is irrelevant. It's you go in there, play them 25 minutes, you do your business, and after you soak it in, you enjoy it. But for those 25 minutes, it's me and Corey, me and him. It's just us. Everything else doesn't matter. It's after it's all said and done, we can enjoy the moment and enjoy our time.
Fantastic. Big opportunity. Should be a special atmosphere in there, I'm sure, especially for this main event. So,
No.
all right. I love it. All right. Well, at this time, we'll turn it over to the media. I know we've got a couple of people already lined up, so we'll get to those. If you have any questions, again, just raise your hand virtually with the icon, and we'll get to you as quickly as possible.
All right, let's kick it off with Gabriel Gonzalez.
What's up, guys? Thank you for the time. First off, for Karl Moore, when you're fighting at home and everything else, obviously there's a lot of attention from your inner circle. People who don't normally ask for tickets all suddenly feel like they're your best friend and everything. Have you managed all of that extra attention as you got to prep for obviously a big fight?
Mate, anybody that knows me, they can't get a hold of me on the phone anyway. I'm a hermit. I don't answer phone calls. I don't reply to people, so people don't even bother to ask me. Anybody in Belfast knows that they'll not waste their time. There's no point in asking me because they won't get back to me. So, to be honest, nothing's really changed. It's just been the same, to be totally honest.
And then we hear about it all the time, the reception that fighters get in Europe, in Ireland, compared to many places in the world, including the United States. As a fighter from there, how do you describe what it's like to go out there for an arena like the one that we'll have in Belfast and the energy they bring?
Mate, the people, I've fought in Dublin so many times, and the atmosphere in Dublin's electric. But Belfast's a bit different. They're not too far away, but the people from Belfast, they bring their own type of atmosphere. I mean, Belfast is a historic fighting city. We have so many great boxers that have come through and so many great boxers coming through at the minute. When those guys fight, the atmosphere is electric. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like when they have one of their own fighting for a world title. It will be unbelievable. I can only imagine how crazy it will be.
And then my last one for Corey Anderson. Obviously, a lot of changes around Bellator and everything else recently, but this is still for the belt. This is still a big moment in your career. Can you just put it into words what this opportunity means to you?
This is it. This is everything I've always worked for. Anybody that's followed me since 2014 when I came in the game, I've always said after every fight, like the win is nice, but I'm only here to get the belt. That's it. The money and everything gonna come. All that is great. The main focus for me is to get the belt. At the end of the day, when it's all over said and done, I gotta say I had that belt wrapped around my waist and I'm walking off in the sunset with it. Whenever it is, if I end up losing it in the title defense later on, I can still say I had it. But the plan is to win the belt, defend the belt as much as I can, walk off in the sunset and say I finished with the belt around my waist. I did my job. So for me, this is a huge moment. And going into enemy territory, I love it. I fought Shogun Hua in his hometown, a sold-out soccer arena. When they was trying to fight us going to the arena, I fought Fabio Maldonado, sold-out arena in his hometown. Ryan Bader, his hometown. So I just, like I said, the energy's going to be electric, and I feed off that because it's going to be negative towards me, and that's when I show up my best. So I'm just
You've
ready.
never been to Belfast, but you've never been to Belfast, but
That's all right. It's all right. You ain't even fought somebody like me either. So,
Thank you, guys.
Santiago.
Hi, Corey. Carl, thank you for the time.
no problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to start with Carl. God, it's a massive fight coming your way and quite deserving if you ask me. You're on a 4-fight, fantastic winning streak in a major MMA promotion. Did you expect to get this call for a title fight after Nemkov vacated the title?
Yes and no. After my last win against Polizzi in Chicago, I expected to either fight Corey or someone else for a #1 contender fight. But then when Nemkov vacated the belt, I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised, if that makes sense, because I'm the only fresh face in the division. I mean, this is Corey's third chance fighting for the belt. Well, the first fight, he was winning the first fight in the headbutt, but this would be his third crack at the belt. Everybody else in the top 5 has competed for the belt except me. So, yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, too, I was quite surprised when I got the call. But yeah, it was a nice surprise, and I wasn't going to turn it down.
So John Kavanagh knows exactly how to guide fighters towards winning a world title in MMA. How important has he been for you during this camp? And are you going to bring him with you to Belfast?
Of course, yeah. I mean, not only for this camp, John's been monumental in my Bellator career. I wouldn't be in the position I am now if it wasn't for John. And yes, of course, he will be doing my corner in Belfast, yeah.
Question for Corey. Corey, how do you approach someone like Karl Moore, who is, proven to be very durable, difficult to look against? How do you approach someone like him?
every fight, go out there and beat Corey Anderson. You can't go out there worried about what other people are going to do and what they've done in the past and what they do in their highlights and all that. The main thing is go out there and be you. That's what the coach will tell you. Every coach will tell you the same thing. A good coach, at least, just be you. You don't focus on that guy. We study film. We take notes. We do all that. At the end of the day, you go out there and do you. The notes and the film, it's all just things to help mold you to be better at what you do, even better. So for me, just do what I do. Go out there and have fun and just put on the show. That's it. Whether it's a ground and pound, whether it's a strike, whether it's a decision, whatever it is, just go out there and be me. Get your hand raised.
One last question for Corey. When did you hear about Nemkov vacating the title? Because you tweeted out about this, Corey, way before it was announced. Did Ali inform you about this? Because it was a big surprise to me, this fight. The whole event actually was a big surprise to me.
No, it was actually announced on social media before I said anything. I was actually shocked by it because at the time, I was back in the Midwest where I live outside of fight camp, coaching college wrestling, and I heard my phone going off on the mat. When I got done, I went. Everybody like, yo, what's going on? I thought y'all was fighting next because they're supposed to announce me and Nemkov was going to fight on the last Chicago card in November on Thursday. Well, it was Tuesday when Nemkov dropped that he was vacating the belt. So that kind of threw a wrench in everything, and they've been trying to scramble to figure if we're going to get a fight for the title while it was still Bellator under the Bellator ownership, or we're going to wait till the buyout happened. So I didn't tweet anything or post anything until that all happened.
Thank you so much. Good luck to both of you on fight night.
Thank you very much.
Jay Anderson.
Hey, thanks very much. And just a couple quick ones for Corey. You kind of touched on it there, but are you disappointed not to get one more go at Vadim Nemkov?
I mean, I'm disappointed in the fact that I don't get to fight Nemkov again right now. But the title fight is a title fight. Getting the title is what's most important to me. So I'm not going to cry over spilled milk and worry about that. We'll go out there and handle this business, and then maybe in the future, who knows? Maybe you end up coming back down later, or I go up later, whatever it is. Hopefully we get that revenge at some point.
Fair enough. And just one other one. I mean, we saw some Bellator names go into the PFL season. Obviously, Phil Davis was one, a fellow champ, and Liz Carmouche is over in the PFL tournament. Was there any talk actually for either of you of potentially going into the PFL season instead of remaining under the Bellator banner?
I mean, it was a talk. I mean, everything is always talks until the contract is signed. Like I said, my manager called me. I told him I'm down for whatever. My contract says the same. Answer is just like, as long as we're getting paid and it's a chance for me to get a belt, wherever we're going, I'm ready to fight. Let's get paid. So whatever came first, if they offer a title fight first, but we already knew the next fight for Bellator would be a title fight because they told me that after my last win, or we go to PFL and join the tournament, which is going to start sooner, make a lot of money and get the belt there. So it was all about business at that point. It was which one gonna let me fight first, and the title fight opportunity came, and I was like, let's do it.
And for Karl, same question. Was there any ever talk of you joining that PFL season?
No, from I signed with Bellator, my goal was to win the belt. As soon as I re-signed with them, my focus has been on the belt completely. They did give me an option to go and join the PFL, but I said no, I want to stay and I want to win the belt in Bellator first before I do anything else.
All right. Thanks very much, guys. Best of luck.
You're very welcome.
Mike Pendleton.
Thanks, guys, for the time. Corey, I'll start with you. You've talked about coming in this camp being more just focused, not getting caught in the emotions of this, but having been there and done that and continuing to go into enemy territory, where is your focus at and how locked in are you? I know it may sound crazy, but to have this opportunity to be back in this title fight, you've been here before, and this is obviously somewhat new territory for Karl Moore.
I mean, like I said, a lot of energy. My focus is just to stay focused, locked in. Like I said, I've had plenty of 5-round fights. I've fought the who's and the where's and where's and there's and there's. I've fought some of the biggest arenas, some of the most sold out, action-packed crowds. The thing is just go out there and save your energy. Save your energy for your opponent. Don't worry about anything else. Don't focus on that. That's just something you develop. I actually developed it in college, competing my whole life, but tunnel vision. You go out there on the mat, just like we're going to the cage, and you hear it, you see it, and you learn how to just hone that spot in your head, and all of a sudden when you open your eyes, all you see is everything around you is ripples. And you're just worried about the objective. The objective is to get to the cage and handle business. Then when it's all over, said and done, that final bell, everything come to reality where you were and what happened. So right now, same thing. Big opportunity, third opportunity, same thing. Get to the cage, focus on the game plan. We'll pay attention to everything else when it's all over, said and done.
What do you make of Karl as an opponent?
The opponent. He's a guy I got to fight to get the belt. That's what I think. I mean, he's here for a reason. He has a 4-fight win streak. He's beat those guys to get to the shot, so he's just another guy in line. I mean, you respect him. Not looking past anybody. Like I said, I train every fight. I do training camp like I'm fighting the best man in the world. The one time I didn't, I just paid for it. That was Nemkov, the last Nemkov fight. I thought for sure I had it in the bag. I took it easy on camp a little bit, and it cost me. Never again. So every time we go, we fighting the baddest man in the world, no matter what. We fighting the baddest mofo in the world. We're going to be prepared for everything. And that's it. Don't worry about what he is as an opponent. Just worry about what he's capable of or what could happen and be ready for anything that can happen.
Thank you. And one for Karl. Karl, similar question to you. Having this opportunity in Belfast, taking on a guy like Corey, not only to win the belt in Ireland, but what does it mean for you to go up against someone of the pedigree of a Corey Anderson in this massive opportunity for you to win the title in Ireland?
Oh, mate, this is like, I've spoke about this fight in Belfast so many times, but to do it against someone like Corey, it's just the icing on the cake because, I mean, like Corey said, he's fought the who's who, he's fought the world war. He's one of the best guys in the world, and these are the fights I want. I've been calling for Yoel Romero, I've been calling for Nemkov, and I've got the next best thing, which was Corey Anderson. And like a win over Corey for the belt, that solidifies me as one of the best in the world. And like nothing but respect for Corey, but he's in my way of achieving greatness. And like it's not personal, but he's just another person I have to beat to get to where I want to be. Doesn't matter if it's him, if it was Nemkov, if it was anybody. Just this is my moment. This just feels like everything in my career, the fight camp, the personal life that's going on with my family, everything is just aligned for this moment. And it feels like it's my time. And it's going to take some man to take it away from me on that night.
Thanks, guys.
All right, last question goes to Darren.
Well, thank you very much for having me. The same question goes to both Corey and Karl. And Corey first, what does the victory celebration look like for you after this great fight against Karl?
You can't say. I don't know. You know, they say act like you've been there before, but this is one of those moments like I've never been there before. We've had a title fight twice, and this is the third time. What we saw after the first one, when they came in and told me I won, I jumped on the cage and I celebrated. I called my family in the cage, and all of a sudden it was taken away from. By the time I got down, the judge or the scorecard guy or whatever came in and said, "Wait, you can't win. There's 3 seconds left," and the emotions changed. So this would be a whole nother one, Granted, nothing happened incidentally like that first fight, and we get a clean-cut victory. You can't say what's going to happen. You have all kinds of stuff. You tell yourself you're going to stay calm and be professional. I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to scream. I'm going to act like I've been there before. But then it's kind of like the fight against Johnny Walker. Like, I didn't want to explode like that, but it was all the emotions and everything that happened. You kind of black out. And when it all comes to and you went look back and see what I did and how I reacted, you're like, damn, I did not expect to do that. It was just all that pent-up energy and everything, and the emotions happen in the moment. You have no explanation for what happens until after you go back and review it. You look at yourself, and you either, like I said that night, I went on and apologized for my actions because that wasn't me, or it could be a great reaction where it's honorable. We just don't know until it happens.
Karl, same question at you, and does it involve a great cheat meal that you haven't been able to eat recently?
It involves every kind of meal, every possible meal you can imagine, brother. But for me, my victory will be, I live 20 minutes away, so it'll be drive back home.
Remember Corey Anderson?
Sorry?
What?
You're good. No, I think that was a little background noise. You can go, Karl. Sorry about that.
No, no worries. But I think for me, my celebration will be to head home, drive home, relax, put the feet up, and just enjoy the moment. I'm a simple man, simple pleasures. I don't want to go out and party and celebrate. Just go home, have some fast food, maybe have a beer or two and relax, and then take a week off and then back to work, defend the belt, hopefully in June in Dublin. Maybe against Corey again, you never know.
Looking forward to it. Thank you both.
No problem.
Maybe we're setting up the rematch already. All right, well, look, we're looking forward to it. Guys, appreciate your time today for Karl and Corey. Obviously, the light heavyweight title will be on the line. Historic event, big moment in each of their two career, and you get to do it in Belfast as well. So it should be a great night. Guys, thank you very much for your time. We'll bring in our co-main event fighters now.
No, thank you very much.
And
I'll see you in a week,
See you
Corey.
guys.
yep.
See you in a week, man. Good luck, all the best. I hope training goes well and everything goes to plan, no fucking injuries and shit, and we can have the best fight possible.
Sell it out in the cage. Yes, sir. Same for you.
That's so, brother. Good luck. See you soon, Corey.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I love it. Friendly rivalry for now. Big fight next week for sure. So thank you both for your time. We will now be bringing in Patricio Pitbull and Jeremy Kennedy. So give us just a second while we get that set up, everybody, and then we'll get some opening statements and right back to the questions. So if you want to go ahead and start lining up for questions for our co-main event fighters, again, feel free to raise your hand virtually with the little hand icon there. So
Can you see a video?
Yep. See Jeremy? See you there? Thank you, sir. Looks like we've got Patricio as well. We'll get these two pinned. Appreciate Gabby going through all the technical side of things on the back end.
I think we're good there.
All right. Good to go. All right, guys. Well, Patricio Pitbull's presence in MMA is second to none, having conquered 2 weight classes simultaneously and holding the most wins in Bellator history with 23. Pitbull will put his belt on the line when he takes on #1 contender Jeremy Kennedy, who has been victorious against some of the elite fighters in the featherweight division and believes he has the experience and the tools to dethrone the champ in front of the Belfast crowd on March 22nd. So without further ado, we've got these two gentlemen here. We'll start with the champion with a quick opening statement. Patricio, you've been the face of this company for a long time, but this is a new era for the company. What does it mean for you to be headlining, or to be co-headlining, I should say, this big event in Belfast?
That's amazing. I feel good about that. But, I am just looking to my next opponent, and focus on that.
Good way to keep the focus there, Jeremy. You are that next opponent. This is an opportunity I know that you've been working for quite some time. It is all now coming to fruition. So talk to me about the excitement and just, where your head is at ahead of this huge opportunity for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been training my whole career for this. This is all led up to this point, and the circumstances surrounding it, the last minute change, last couple of weeks, it kind of fell into my lap. So this is perfect. I was already training for this fight, and I've been training for this fighter, a Pitbull, for a year now, waiting. So I'm fully prepared, and now it's just a little quick switch in opponent and bigger opportunity, more reward.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, big fight, big co-main event, guys. I know we got the media lined up. So again, just raise your hand virtually with the icon there if you'd like to ask a question, and we'll kick those off now.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Hey, thank you, guys. First question for Jeremy. Obviously, long time coming. You've been putting in work. Just can you talk about how it all went down? Obviously, you hear about Pitbull's last fight falls through, and then shortly after we have this announcement. Can you just walk us through how it all came together on your side?
Yeah, I mean, I was following along, obviously, because I was planning on meeting Pitbull later on in the year. So I was following along with his opponents falling through, and Pinedo and Braga, and I got a call late Thursday night, so it would have been their weigh-ins Friday, asking if I'm ready for 5 rounds instead, and for Pitbull. And I said, of course, don't even ask me. Just say yes, get it done. And I hung up the phone, went to bed. I woke up the next morning, and it was a done deal. We were ready to go. We're going to fight for the title now.
Obviously, I think most fighters might appreciate just a little more heads up in terms of preparation, but you are used to having fought overseas before. How does that experience help you in terms of everything you got to go to get dialed in?
Exactly. I mean, the notice is nothing. I was training for this fight for a long time now. He's been training for a fight, so it's like we've got full camps. I've spent my career fighting overseas, Brazil, Australia, Morocco, Saudi Arabia. I've been everywhere. So Ireland last year. So I've already been here. I understand what I have to do to get out there early, prepare what I need to bring. I'm used to fighting, on the road. So it's no different. This is just another fight. It's just a bigger reward now. Got that big shiny belt to come home with.
For Pitbull, we obviously didn't get too many details. Can you just tell us everything that happened in Saudi and why the fight didn't happen with Braga?
Não teve muitos detalhes. Você pode falar tudo que aconteceu na Arábia Saudita, porque a luta não aconteceu com Gabriel Braga?
I'm gonna answer in Portuguese, right? Then my translator will say that in English, all right? That's too many things. Primeiro, a luta estava marcada contra Pinedo e ele teve um machucado nas costas. Me parece que quando eu cheguei lá, 3 dias depois de eu já estar lá, parece que a luta já estava cancelada pelo atleta, mas a organização ficou tentando achar alguém para me fazer não sair do card. E esse alguém seria Gabriel. Eles demoraram um pouco para me falar e parece que Gabriel inicialmente que ia lutar contra Pico também, já não ia lutar contra Pico assim que chegou lá em Riad. Ele se deu conta que sentia muita falta do pai, aquilo abalou ele psicologicamente, mas a organização ficou tentando fazer a luta acontecer, os empresários de Gabriel também, e não foi possível. Então, depois da pesagem, eu fui informado que ele não iria lutar. Ele não apareceu nem para bater o peso, na verdade ele nem tinha tentado bater o peso, porque ele já tinha decidido que não ia fazer essa luta acontecer. Então, logo depois, Michael me chamou para conversar, falou que Kennedy ia lutar contra Gallagher lá na Irlanda e que podia me fazer defender o título do Bellator contra Kennedy. Eu tive uma rápida conversa com meus treinadores, a gente já estava com o camp completo, então a gente disse sim, e é isso.
Yeah, so 3 days after I had arrived in Saudi Arabia, it looked like Pinedo had already dropped off the fight because of back injury, but the promotion hadn't told me about that yet because they were trying to to get me another opponent. And turns out the one they ended up with was Gabriel. But from what I heard, the moment he got in Saudi Arabia, when he was still supposed to fight Pico, he had already decided to not fight that week because he was feeling the loss of his father, and his first fight week without him, all the emotions came to him. And so he had already decided that he wouldn't be fighting. But when PFL gave him the opportunity to fight me, his management tried to talk with him, and they tried to convince him during the week. And it ended up not happening. Unfortunately, I found out on the day of the weightings that he wouldn't be fighting, and he didn't even attempt to make weight because he was already set on not fighting, although he agreed at first. And it is what it is. The following day, I spoke with Mike Hogan, and he told me that they had this fight in Belfast at featherweight, and Jeremy was the number one contender. So they asked if I would be okay with fighting him on short notice. And I said yes. I took a little time to speak with my coaches, and then we gave them the answer that would be fighting him, and here we are.
Thank you.
Cooper Burke.
Hey, Patricio, has your mindset changed at all going into this fight? What have you told yourself to kind of get back into the right mindset and right frame of mind with everything that's gone on with, the fight cancellations and everything, so that you can go forward and put your best foot forward?
Como foi que você se ajustou com tantos cancelamentos, tantos imprevistos, assim, né, quebra de camp e tal, para você entrar no outro camp e na sua melhor forma, no seu melhor foco?
Eu acredito que eu sou um guerreiro e se a gente está no meio de uma guerra e aparece qualquer adversário, a gente tem que estar pronto para qualquer um deles. Então, meu treinamento aqui com minha equipe da Pitbull Brothers é completo. A gente treina tudo, a gente treina contra canhoto, contra cara alto, cara especialista em wrestling, cara bom de jiu-jitsu, bom de trocação e com vários estilos variados. Então a gente tem que estar 100% para cada oponente que vier, e é isso. Eu nunca disse não para uma luta e não seria dessa vez que eu diria.
I believe I'm a warrior, and when you're in a war, whoever the opponent that shows up in front of you, you have to face him. So here at Pitbull Brothers, we train for everything. And I knew that, I would be ready. We train for softballs, we train for orthodox, we train for tall guys, we train for wrestlers, we train for short guys. So we cover every scenario, so I can be ready for anyone at any time. And I never said no to a fight before, and I wouldn't start doing it right now.
Absolutely. Are you excited to be back under the Bellator banner, defending your Bellator title again? Does that bring any extra juice for you?
Você está empolgado de estar lutando pelo Bellator de novo, defendendo esse cinturão? Isso lhe dá uma empolgação a mais?
Muito. Minha casa é o Bellator, sabe que eu estou nessa organização desde 2010. Então tenho uma década e meia praticamente lá. Então fico muito feliz em a organização continuar operando. Eu tenho um adversário muito bem requisitado, que é Jeremy Kendall, número 1 da categoria, né? Só está abaixo do campeão. Então vai ser uma boa luta para mostrar para todo mundo que eu estou aqui no jogo. Né? Ainda mantém a coroa de rei. Então, para mim vai ser maravilhoso lutar em frente a esse público da Irlanda, que é diferente demais. Quando meu irmão lutou na Irlanda, eu disse, pô, essa atmosfera aqui eu quero sentir também. E agora chegou a hora.
Yeah, as you all know, Bellator is my home. I made pretty much my whole career here, and it means a lot to me to be defending my belt. And I'm going to be facing the guy that's Jeremy is ranked number 1, so he's only below me as I'm the champion. And it's a perfect fight for me to show that I'm really back, and I'm back in full force, and I can get in there and show everyone that I'm still the king. I've been in Ireland before. It was Ireland, not North Ireland, but the crowd there was amazing. When my brother was fighting, it was something very electric, and I said that I wanted to experience fighting in front of that crowd again. So I'm very excited for this opportunity to be co-headlining this card and to be able to showcase my skills in front of all those fans.
Thank you, Patricio. Jeremy, I've got a question for you. You fought a murderer's row of guys. You've got wins over Sanchez, Aaron Pico, and Carvalho. What excites you the most about this fight and this opportunity?
Obviously the opponent. When I first got into Bellator, I'd had a career elsewhere, PFL, UFC, and all these guys, the bigger name guys were always on my list, in my mind. And Pitbull's been at the top for a long time, so I've always thought I matched up well with him, and I've always wanted to challenge myself with him. So as soon as I got in, that's why I was asking for the Borix, Sanchez, Pico. I wanted those staple names. And this is just the biggest staple name to have on my resume. So timing's perfect. I would have liked to have this last year, but he was doing all the other stuff, and it just got me better, more prepared, and I'm ready to have his name on my record.
All right. Thank you so much to both of you. Best of luck going into this camp. And once again, thanks again for having me.
Of course.
Jay Anderson.
Thanks very much. And Jeremy, Bellator has obviously had some big Canadian champions over the year in Roy McDonald and Julia Budd. So just what's it like following in those footsteps and kind of being included amongst those names as you try to go out and capture this title?
Yeah, Rory is, the next GSP. He kind of followed in those footsteps. He did well over in the UFC, and then he won titles in Bellator. So for me to follow in that kind of lineage, GSP, Rory, me, and it's just the different eras, I guess. GSP's come and gone, Rory's kind of come and gone now, and now it's my turn, to win this belt, defend it, and hopefully bring Bellator to Canada.
All right. Well, best of luck this week, or best of luck at the fight. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, last question goes to Mike Pendleton.
Start with Patricio. Patricio, I spoke to Jeremy before this media call, and he detailed a year of basically hunting you and waiting and not taking another fight. So when you look at his resume and kind of, do you respect the way he went about getting this, not only beating everyone put in front of him, but the fact that he didn't just take any fight just to fight. He wanted you, and he set his sights on you, and now this fight has been made.
Jeremy diz há muito tempo, né, que ele quer lutar com você, e ele saiu meio que caçando os maiores nomes na divisão até chegar em você. Você respeita isso nele, que ele quis derrubar os maiores nomes para fazer esse caminho aí, que desde sempre ele vem dizendo que o foco é você, que ele quer essa luta?
Eu respeito todos os meus adversários. Para mim, sempre minha próxima luta é sempre a mais dura que eu tenho na minha vida. Respeito. Ele fez uma trajetória muito bonita. Ele me mandou as mensagens no privado, muito respeitoso. Ele ganhou o momento dele, ele merece a disputa. Mas eu tenho uma triste notícia para dar para ele. Para mim é uma notícia muito feliz. Ele vai perder.
I respect what he's done in the organization in his career. He has a beautiful trajectory until he got here to the belt. He sent me a couple respectful messages from direct messages, and I always think that my next fight is my toughest fight. I have much respect for all my opponents, and especially for what he did to get here and who he had to go through. But I have some sad news for him, not for me. He will lose.
Well, real quick, Jeremy's known for his wrestling, known for really controlling everything. You're an exciting fighter, so is he. Do you expect that you two will put on a show in Belfast?
That's for Pitbull, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it for me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was for Jeremy. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Obviously, he's a guy who uses his strengths, obviously to his advantage. Your guy loves exciting fights. He loves exciting fights. Do you believe this is a great matchup for you guys to excite the crowd and put on a show in Belfast?
Ele falou que Jeremy tem um estilo, ele faz lutas empolgantes, você gosta de fazer lutas empolgantes, né? Vocês são lutadores muito duros. Você acha que a junção, né, de estilo de vocês vai proporcionar uma luta empolgante para os fãs em Belfast?
Bom, Jeremy é um cara que ele é completo, ele luta muito bem em pé e algumas lutas ele tem dominado bastante seus adversários no jogo de agarrado. Então, o que eu planejo é que eu vou decidir em qual aspecto de luta a gente vai ter durante esses combates e eu vou levar ele para onde eu consiga fazer ele sentir dor. Então, eu acredito que os irlandeses vão gostar.
Jeremy is very skilled. He's good everywhere. He has good striking, and he has been dominating some of his opponents with wrestling. So he's shown that he has everything. So my plan is to go in there and lead the fight where I feel more comfortable and where I can inflict him pain. So I think the Irish fans have a very good fight in their hands, and they will like it.
Last one for me, and thank you guys for your time. Jeremy, we talked, and now, you know, we're just about a week away. Has it now set in? I know this is just a media call, but he's on one side of the screen, you're on the other side. I know things will get a little more amped up when you're in Belfast, but now has it set in that your opportunity is here?
Yeah, I mean, it set in as soon as I got that call. This has just been a long time coming. I've been chasing this guy around. I know he's had his hands full and busy doing other things, but I mean, you know, he could have fought me instead of fighting in Japan, and things happen, of course, in the champ versus champ thing, and now it's presented itself because that champion versus champion fight didn't happen. So now I got it, and it's here, and I see him now. It's face to face, virtually, and I've been ready for this since last year. So it's just, as we get closer, I just get the more of this energy and more prepared, and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Guys, appreciate it. It's a fight that we weren't initially expecting to start off this year, but one I know Jeremy has been working for a long time, and anytime we get a chance to see Patricio perform, it's always great. He's been at the top of the division for a long time. So, guys, thank you both very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you in Belfast.
Thank you.
See you there, brother.
Awesome, brother. All right. That'll conclude today's activity. The 2024 Bellator Championship Series is in Belfast on Friday, March 22nd at the SSA Arena in Northern Ireland, live in Europe on DAZN beginning at 5 p.m. GMT, 12 p.m. Eastern, with additional distribution information, including a U.S. broadcast partner, being announced soon. We thank everybody for joining us today. I know we couldn't get to all the questions, but we were limited on time. Appreciate you all joining in, and we look forward to an action-packed, historic event next Friday. We'll see you there.